Alrighty, BB40 back with another Zombie Rush survival video. And what I've been doing is kind of going in, doing random runs at certain number of waves to try to figure out what's the optimum number of waves to do to get the most Zombux, or the highest average Zombux per wave. So I did, this is a 100 wave run. Just wanted to show this and talk about my current strategy after playing this game for a few months now. I started playing it maybe a couple of weeks after it came out. If you want to go back and look at my old videos of what this game looked like originally, they did modify the map from the original version, and they did a lot of different changes here and there to adjusting the different classes, adding 2 more classes. They added the recon and the pyro class. They started with 4. They had the rookie, the medic, the trying to remember the middle one. The last one's a demolitionist, and it may come to me. But there was only 4 originally. Now there's 6, and then they just added the bosses with the most recent major update that they did. And along the way, they've been fixing bugs and glitches, and doing different things. I've reported a few, and they've looked at them and made adjustments to the game. I'm trying to talk them out of making it tougher, which they're thinking of doing. They still think it's a little bit too easy, to get on leaderboards and stuff. But I did a series of videos showing anybody who comes in and first starts this game how they can get on a leaderboard in only 5 games. If you want to check out, it's a series of 4 videos I did, and I suggest starting at the first one and going through them, and you'll see basically all you have to do is play a couple games, survive to about wave 50 if you can, and just get enough Zombux to buy the medic class. As it turns out, the medic class is really it's the only thing I use now. It's basically the only class that can just keep going and going and going in this game, and it's primarily because of the healing stations. And when they added the bosses to this game, it made it possible to keep getting enough money to keep dropping healing stations. Before the bosses, you would run out of money. You just couldn't keep dropping healing stations without the money. So it was kind of limited by that. But now there's no limit. Really, there's really no limit. Yeah, as long as you stay and with the game and don't walk off and use an auto clicker. If you use an auto clicker, you'll get killed because the zombies will attack your healing station, and your auto clicker will not account for that. But anyway, this is my strategy. First, come in. I'll lay a couple turrets. Depends on what I feel like, how many I want to lay. And then I'm using the Beretta, the Tier 1 Beretta, which is the best gun in the game, and I recommend you get it and get it fully upgraded. And all I'm doing is saving up about $6,000, and you watch, I'm just going to go straight up to the Tier 6 gun. Click, 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 you're right up there and get my Vector. Now the Vector, I did a video on this, review of it, and then a review of the HK MG4. So you can go back and look at both videos and compare the 2 guns and decide for yourself if you think the HK is worth it. I honestly don't... it is a better gun. The HK is stronger than the Vector. There's no doubt it's stronger. But I don't know if it's that much stronger that it would justify twice as much Zombux to buy it and upgrade it. It's actually more than twice as much Zombux. I think they really overpriced it compared to the Vector. But it was a initial shot by the developers. They may go back and adjust prices sometime. I would definitely give them recommendations if they ever did, because some of them just don't make sense. I mean, the Tier 4 Uzi is almost 2 million Zombux, which doesn't make any sense. There is some adjustment needed, I believe, but that's a minor thing compared to some of the other things they're doing right now. If you look at their page on Roblox, the About page, when you first go on the page, they are announcing that they're going to make another map, or they're going to release another map on September 5th, here in 2026. So look for that next week. I guess maybe it'll be to the end of next week. Not this coming weekend, but the weekend after. I guess that'd be Labor Day weekend. I don't know if they're going to make any other changes to this map at that time. I did point out to them that if you go into hard mode, I didn't realize it because I went into hard mode one time with a friend and we went quite a few waves and we did the same thing in regular mode and I didn't see any difference in the amount of Zombux I was getting. So I didn't play it anymore because of that. I didn't think the benefit was worth the effort to play hard mode. But if you do this 100 waves, and I'm going to do that after I do this video, I'm going to do a video on 100 waves of hard mode. And if you just do the 100 waves, you will definitely see a difference in the amount of Zombux you will earn. So from this run, doing 100 waves, I got 93,000 Zombux. When you do 100 waves in hard mode, you can get as much as 110,000 Zombux. So it's an increase of about 17,000 Zombux. So hard mode will give you more, but I did point out to the developers that they forgot to boost the bosses. In both regular and hard mode, the bosses give the same amount of money when you kill them. You know, the first one's 3,000 Zombux, the second one is 6,000 Zombux, the third one's 9,000 Zombux, and they keep going up about 3,000 Zombux with every boss round, every 50 waves. So hopefully the developer is going to change that and boost the bosses also in hard mode. That would make it more worth the while of playing hard mode to get more Zombux. So I'm trying to figure out what the optimum wave is. What is the best number to stop at? So I did this 100 wave run, then I did a run at 150 waves, and I did a run at 200 waves. So for this 100 round wave, I averaged about 931 Zombux per wave. That's average per wave. When I did 150 waves, it went up to 1,023 Zombux, average per wave. So each wave, 150 waves, I was getting 1,000 Zombux, 1,023. And when I did 200 waves, I got 209,000 Zombux. It went up to 1,042 Zombux per wave on average. So it's still increasing. I'm going to go ahead and try 250 waves. And if that average drops, and it's going to drop at some point, you know, when you keep going more and more waves, the zombies keep getting tougher and tougher and harder to kill. So you will get, at one point, you will not be able to get, keep that average up. The average will drop because you just can't kill the zombies fast enough. So I want to find out what that wave is, what that point is for me anyway. You know, I've got a high power gun here, the Vector. It's fully upgraded. It's just like a leaf blower, just blowing the zombies off the deck. And we're almost at wave 50, and it's still blowing all the smaller zombies away pretty handily. So you might not have a strong gun like this. You may not be able to kill all these zombies like I can. But so if you don't, what I recommend is that every 20 or 30 waves, 25 waves or so, whatever, turn off the auto skip. If you turn off the auto skip, it will allow all the zombies to spawn. So you can kill all the zombies and get all that Zombux. You don't want to just keep going and going on auto skip, or all those zombies will be left behind. And I think they just end up deleted after a certain point. I don't know how many zombies it'll store in reserve, waiting to spawn. But I know there's a limit to that also, because I've done this before where I kept going and going and going. Turn off the auto skip at like wave 200, and I don't get the same amount of Zombux that I would if I turned it off every 20 or 30 waves. There's only a limited number of zombies that are out on a deck at one time, you know, out on the map, and every wave is designed to spawn a certain number of zombies, but every wave is only 10 seconds. So, and every wave, I believe, increases the number of zombies that will spawn for that wave. I don't know if they add 5 zombies every wave or 10, I don't know, but they do add more zombies to every wave. And I don't know if they cut it off at some point. You know, there are other games like Zombie Mayhem, Tower Zombies. If you go in there and you stay for an entire wave, There is no auto skip in those games. You have to kill all the zombies for the next wave to start. And you'll notice they don't increase at all after a certain point. They'll get up to, wave 10 and 12, 15, they'll get up to about 60, 65 zombies. You get to wave 30 or 40, and it only goes up to like 70 zombies. It doesn't increase that much. So I don't know if this game does the same thing. I just don't know. It probably does, because they probably use the same programming, and they just started at a bigger number. The first wave you saw, there's only 6 zombies or 8 zombies. And then the second wave, it about doubles, and then it keeps increasing. And I don't know where the limit is, though. So anyway, kind of rambling here. So this is my strategy I do all the time now. I just go in, I start on this side of the upper deck on the top of this ramp on this platform here, lay down a couple turrets. I use my Beretta, fully upgraded Beretta, tier 1 gun, best tier 1 gun you can get. Highly recommend you get it. Drop a couple turrets. I save up my money. I drop a buff tower, save up my money to get about $6,000, and I can just buy my way straight up to the tier 6 gun. So if you're just using a minigun, that's fine. You can get up there pretty quick with using a Beretta and a couple of turrets. You'll earn that $6,000 quick enough so you can just zip right up to the tier 6 gun and pass over all the others. You don't even have to stop at the others. And then I build up my turrets toward the middle of this deck, the top deck. Now typically I'll go about 3 turrets and then drop a healing station. But in this case, I was only planning on doing 100 waves. And I wasn't going to be able to fill the entire area of the healing station area, the green area. I knew I wouldn't fill that up, so I just dropped a tower closer to the edge here. But typically I'll drop it like 2 turrets further out, away from the edge, closer to the middle. That way it'll create a bigger circle. And if I'm doing a long run, like 1,000 waves or more, I will completely fill that entire circle with turrets. And maybe a couple more buff towers to help my gun shoot strong. I'll put them on the sides more so I cover more area. And, in case I need to run around inside there and drop more turrets and fight the bosses, I'll have my double strength from the buff tower. Now the buff tower does not buff the turrets. So make that clear. It only buffs the gun that I'm shooting. The gun that you hold in your hands and fire. The buff tower will, depending on how many stars you have on it, it will do like the maximum I think is 1.3 times increase. It's almost like 2.5 times the original strength if you have a buff tower set down. That's one of the advantages of the medic class, and the other advantage obviously is the healing station. The healing station is the reason why this medic can go further in this game than any other class. Even a demolitionist cannot go this far, because eventually, getting past like wave 1000, the zombies will be too strong for the demolition turrets, the mortar turrets to kill, and they'll just overpower you. They'll overrun you. But the healing station, even at wave 1000 and 2000 and 3000, it'll still heal everything inside of its healing diameter. Inside of its circle, everything will get healed 100% if you got it up to 5 stars. You see on the right my turrets and my buff barricade, they call it now. It used to be buff tower. The buff barricade and the healing stations are all 5 stars. And if you watch my series of videos on getting on the leaderboard in just 5 games, starting fresh as a new player, you'll see that I go right into the #1 objective that you want to do. Play a couple games, earn 50,000 Zombux, and buy that medic. And just use the medic. That it only take 3 games after you get the medic. 2 games so you get enough Zombux that you can buff up the healing station and the turrets. And then the 3rd game you will be able to get on the leaderboard. Anyway, I recommend you watch those videos. So it's just 5 games to leaderboard for any new player if you follow my instructions. Getting close, we're up to 86. I'm going to drop a few more turrets and another healing station for the next boss, and I'm going to shut off the auto skip at wave 100. And we'll see how much Zombux I earn. I do end up earning about 93,000 Zombux in this run. It took about 17, 18 minutes in that range. It doesn't take very long to just earn almost 100,000 Zombux. And when I did this in hard mode, I got about 110,000, 108,000. So I got a lot more, almost 109, 110,000 in that range of Zombux. So hard mode is definitely better as far as earning the Zombux. And it's probably anytime I want to earn Zombux to upgrade a weapon, I'm probably going to do it in hard mode from now on. Because it'll show you when you go into the portal and you have the choice on the right of regular or hard mode. It says right there there's a 20% increase in hard mode. Although I told the developers, I said, it should be more. I mean, if you look at, I looked at the, there's a page that pops up with all the statistics of your run. And I compared that page to regular mode, hard mode and regular mode, put them side by side. And you actually end up doing 50% more damage in hard mode, but you're only getting 20% more Zombux. So it's kind of an unfair balance. And the bosses don't even give you the extra Zombux. I'm trying to convince the developer to boost the bonus, the Zombux that you get in hard mode, because it's only fair. Honestly, you should get more than what you're getting. It's kind of a very modest increase, enough to where I didn't think it was worth it anymore, especially if you go high waves. So I just haven't played it till like yesterday. I started playing it again just to see how much Zombux it actually does give compared to regular mode. So, but anyway, I'm going to finish up here with this. You can see my strategy. I just keep building out from with my healing station at the center of my fortress, my defense. And now we're going to turn off the auto skip at wave 100. The boss just spawned. And clean up these zombies. And it won't take very long because the vector is so strong. It's just been cleaning up all the zombies the entire time. So there's not a lot of zombies left. I mean, it takes about 10 seconds. As you can see, I'm already dwindling. The number of zombies is already dwindling down. Just take out the boss, kill a couple more zombies, and then what I have to do, if you want to see that page pop up with all the statistics, the stats board, you got to let the zombies kill you. It's the only way you can see it. If you just leave the game, you're not going to see it if you just leave the game. I don't know why they did that. The game Tower of Zombies, that board will pop up no matter what. Next time you come, if you leave the game and you come back in, the board's right there. It shows you all your statistics from the previous run. Hoping they could do that with this game. But anyway, it's going to show it here in a minute. I just died and the counter's counting down to revive myself, and I'm not going to revive. I'm just going to wait for the... So there's the stats. 93,000 Zombux. Damage 28,000. Tells you how many kills, headshots, all that kind of stuff. So anyway, thanks for checking us out. And I'm going to do the hard mode next so you can see the difference. And I appreciate you if you give a like, subscribe. That'd be greatly appreciated. And catch you in the next one. Thanks. Bye.